All right, so today we're going to be talking about OneDrive, and OneDrive is an application that is cloud storage for all your files. So it's very similar to Google Drive or Dropbox. And there's two ways we can get to it. One way is going through the browser where our Office 365 lives and our student email. So you would go to the Auburn High School webpage for students and then click on Office 365 and student email. When you log into this with your username at acsk12.org, you'll see a bunch of different Microsoft applications. Your Outlook, which is your email, OneDrive, which is your storage, and then you've got your basics, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Forms, and a couple other things. We're not going to go through that way. We're going to actually go through the OneDrive app. So go to self-service and find OneDrive, and if you haven't installed it already, go ahead and install it, and it should live in this dock for you. So it'll prompt you to log in, and again, that's just your username at acsk12.org and then your 4 or 5 digit password. Once you're logged in, you'll see these files like this. Well, not these exact files, but your files. And if you want to create a folder or do anything really in OneDrive, you click on this plus that's next to the magnifying glass or the search, and you can go in and create a folder. So let's say I create a folder called Science, and it's going to push me into the Science folder. Now from here I can upload different files, or I could scan. Maybe your teacher passes out a worksheet and you want to scan it and put it in here to store. You can do that, and you could take a picture or take a video or create a Word document or a presentation within this Science folder. All right, you can also go the other way where maybe you have an existing document that your teacher has shared with you through Schoology that you've downloaded, and you want to share this with them. So let's say this was all filled out and I want to share it with my OneDrive so I can access it later, or I just want to save it to my OneDrive. So I click on the paper at the top left with the 3 dots, and I go to send a copy, send with another app, and I'm going to copy to my OneDrive. Now when this pulls up here, it's kind of in a view only state. It doesn't actually live in your OneDrive yet. So at the very bottom you see it says upload to OneDrive, and you can select which folder you want to save this in. So I click on Science, and I'm saving this government document in my Science folder, which I know doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm doing. And now that Intro to American Government, copy 2, is in my Science folder. So that's how you're going to add different files. Now let's say a teacher is airdropping you something through Apple Classroom. You would just accept it, and you would open with OneDrive. And again, this is a view only state, so make sure you upload to OneDrive and choose the folder and select the location where you want it to live. And now if we click into Science, once this file uploads, we should see it there. So if we wanted to share a file with a teacher, there's a couple different ways we could do that. So maybe I want to share that study guide back to the teacher or submit it to Schoology. So I click on the 3 dots here, and I'm going to do share, and that's kind of like export. And I'm going to send a copy of this. And I could send it with an email address. So maybe I want to work with a partner on this file. Well, I could just type in their email and they can edit it at the same time that I can. So now we can work in groups on the same document or PowerPoint or presentation. And so once it downloads this file, it's going to give me a couple different options on how I can share this. I could airdrop it back to my teacher, airdrop it to a friend, a group member that I'm working with, whoever, or I could copy it to Schoology and submit it to an assignment or add it to my Schoology resources. And we're going to get into this, how to navigate Schoology, next week with submitting and downloading resources and assignments and stuff. But for right now, we're just looking at the OneDrive side of things and how you can export or upload files. And so you can see that you have a bunch of different files here. You can go to down at the bottom where it says recent and see the files we just started working on, or you can see files that you've shared with someone. And so this is a way you can keep your work that you've done in groups or partners together and organized.